something fun for today, though, hopefully. Ben Crevitz.
Oh, wow. He could have done the song in the stage.
It's so funny, had we known. And he's like, well, he feels like, yeah, he emailed me yesterday or whatever and says, I suppose all the Torah and Haftorah reading are taken.
Wow.
What are you going to learn this? So, and all the davening, I said, no, I'm signing up for Musaf. So I was leaving.
Yeah.
He lives in the Boston area. That was a big loss when he moved. You know, he was very he's talented.
I knew that early.
I guess he's not planning. I don't know if he knew the song.
You let him do it anyway.
I mean, I'm prepared a lot, but now I'm like, now we know how to do it, so you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't find like yourself. But my response is that you listen. Like it says YouTube.
Oh, well then, yeah. Well, see now, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen because it can happen. I can do it, but I can do it. Right now, we don't have to anything.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Goes the date. All right.
So,
Then never mind. That would be my only.
and so I could do that, sort of, but which would be great. But when I'm gone and someone's doing it, I don't want to put.
Right, and even if I know the date, I have trouble searching through for that particular date, but that may be about.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy.
Shabbat shalom.
Meet that person. Hi, Deb. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. I know.
You're really coming down.
Is Marshall not here?
Oh, okay. So that's a lot, and we're starting here. Okay. And then the other one should be the other, I do have a question for you. We have many shots with nothing special going on, and I'm wondering, how are you feeling? Like, are you, because you used to not know your schedule so far in advance, but it seems like you're around a lot. Like, what's your story?
My story is, I don't work.
Oh, I don't blame you for that. Okay.
I walked into the room and I barely saw the building.
It was so foggy. Good. How are you?
Sad, but okay.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So
It's just
I'm
not
going to
fair.
email
You know,
and we can look at the,
yeah,
like March 18th, for example, is, are you like,
no, I didn't yet. There's also a,
I'll email you. Oh, okay, yeah.
became sick now.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, I'll email you and we can make sure. But also, it's a long reading that day. It's by a pal, and I can't remember if it's by a pal. Oh, sorry.
All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Shabbat Shirah. Means the Sabbath of the song. What song in particular? The Song of the Sea. When they cross. We're going to begin page 73. Please rise. ברוך אתה לחלום, אשר אתה מחזיק ונצליק, להפגין בין יום ובין לילה. ברוך אתה לחלום, שעשני בצלמו. ברוך אתה לחלום, שעשני ישראל. ברוך אתה לחלום, שעשני בן פורים. ברוך אתה לחלום, פורקי חיוורים. ברוך אתה לחלום, מלביש ערומים. ברוך אתה לחלום, עטיר אסורים. ברוך אתה לחלום, תוקף כפופים. ברוך אתה לחלום, מקור ארץ על המים. ברוך אתה לחלום, שעשה לי כל צרכי. ברוך אתה לחלום, המקים צדיק גבר. ברוך אתה לחלום, עזר ישראל בגבורה. ברוך אתה לחלום, עטיר שב בתפארה. ברוך אתה לחלום, הנותן לי עייף כוח. May be seated, we turn to page 134. Hallelujah, 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 bekorcho, hallelujah, berki auzo, hallelujah, bingurota, hallelujah, kerogulo, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 beteka shofar, hallelujah, benema bechinor, hallelujah, betov lumachol, hallelujah, beminim beukav, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 betil tzlei shama, hallelujah, betil tzlei trua, kolan shama te hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, today, although normally we would skip all the way to the beginning of Shacharit, we're going to turn to page 138, the bottom of the page. We're going to look at the Song of the Sea here as well in Shacharit, because we're going to be reading it later in the Torah. וישרתי על הגדולה אשר עשה אדוני במצרים ויראו העם את אדוני והאמינו באדוני ובמשה עבדו אז ישיר משה ובני בני ישראל את שירה הזאת לאדוני ויאמרו לאמור השיר על אדוני כי כה גס ושרפו רמה בים עוזי וזמרניה ויהי לי Leshua, Ozi, Bezimrania, Vayehili, Leshua. מי כמוך נטור בקודש, לא תהילות, או ספל, עשירה, עשירה, עשירה. כי לאדוני מלך משה וגויים, ועלו משיעים בהר ציון לשפוט את הר עשיו, ויקרא לאדוני המלוכה, ויאמר אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. נשמע את כל חי, תברך את שמך. 147. Yitvelach umiyeshvelach umiyarof lach elakadol gibor v'narel leyon krei shamayim v'aretz nalelcha nushbechach nefecha ravarech et shem kodshecha k'mar ledevi barchi nefshi et Adonai v'chol kravai et shem kodsho ha'el b'tatzu motu zecha ha'gedol likvod shemecha ha'gibor lenetzach v'norotecha המלך היושב על כיסא רם ונסתר שוכן מרום בקדוש שמו וחדשו צדיקים באדוני שרים נבא תהילה בפי השערים תתהלל ובדברי צדיקים תתברך ובשום חסידים תתרומם ובקרב קדושים תתקדש ומקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל. ונתמר שמך מכיר בכל דור ודור, שכן כמר כל יצורים לבניך נעלינו ולבי אבותינו, להודות להלל לשבח, לבעל במלאדר, לברך עלי אל קלס, על כל דברי שירו ותשבחו, תביא בן ישי עבדך, משיחך, ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו. ובקרוב ראש השמיים בארץ כלחנה אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו. שירו שבחה, הלל וזמרה, עוז וממשלה, נצח גדולה וגבורה, תהילה ותפארת, קדושה ומלכות. ברכות והודאות, מעתה ועד עולם, ברוך אתה אדוני. למלכנו ותשבחות אל ההודעות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלפי העולמים. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבם. יאמן יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וביומכון, וכל בית ישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב יברו. יהי שמי רבם מבורך, לעולם בהמיה. ברח וישתבח ויפאר במין הזה, ויתתה ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקדושה. בריחו לעילם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, שושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה וימרו. Amen. We rise with Baruch Hu 152. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Vorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Lemechalam. Bezor Rechoshech Ose Shalom Ubaret Hakol. Hakol Yoducha Hakol Yishamchucha. אין קרקך ואין זולתך, אפס בלתך ומי דומה לך. אין קרקך ואין זולתך, אפס בלתך ומי דומה לך. אין קרקך אלוהינו בעולם הזה, ואין זולתך למלכין חיי העולם הבא. אפס בלתך גולנו לימוד המשיח, אין דומה לך משיח לתחיית המתים. אל אדון על כל המעשים ברוך ומבורך, בפי כל נשמה גודלו וטובו, מלא עולם דעת ותבונה זו ומימותו. המיקה על חיות הקודש ונדר בחמה, זכות ומישור לפני כיסו, חסד ורחמים לפני כבודו. טובים מאורות שברא אלוהינו יצרם, ודעת ובינה ופסקל, כוח וגבורה נתן בהם, להיות מושלים בקרב תבל, ולעיתים ופיקים נוגה. שמחים בצאתם וששים במועם, עושים בהם הרצון קונם. פאר וכבוד נותנים לשמות עולה ורינה, וזכר מלכותו קרא לשמש. ראה והתקין Tzura Havana Shevach Nonim Lo Kol Tzimam Tiferet Ugedula Seraphim Be'ofanim Bechayot HaKodesh Shabbat Mikol HaMasim. Shasitia Faruch Hasela Tiparach Tzurenu Malkeinu Beko Alenu Borei Kedoshim Ishtabach Shimcha Le'an Malkeinu. We're at 159. B'cholam Hochim et B'yem B'tushav Tahora B'shira U'B'zimra U'Achim U'Meshavechim Farim Maritzim Makishim Umalichim Et Shema El HaMelech HaGadol HaNorah Kadoshu B'cholam Mekablim Aleim Omachut Sheman Ze Mizeh V'notnim Reshut Ze Lazeh V'Kdishu L'Otram V'Rachad Ruach Tzufar V'Ralima Kedosha Kulam Kechad Unim V'Omrim V'Yirah Kadosh 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 Adonai Tzevaot B'chol Haaretz Kevodo Karash Barash Gadol Minasim Limatzarafim Limata Meshapchim Ve'omrim Baruch Kevod Adonai Bimkom El Baruch Nibod Yitenu. Or Chadash Al Zion Ta'ir Or Chadash Al Zion Ta'ir V'nizkeh Kulanu Ma'era Le'oro Ma'era le'oro, Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'me'oro. 163. Ava Rabav Tanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chema gedola v'tera, Hamalta aleinu, Avinu malkeinu, Avahu Raboteinu, Shebatu Becha, Aminu Malkeinu, Avati Lamdem Chukei Chaim, Kentechonenu Thamdeinu, Aminu Amaram, Chaman Hamrachem Rachem Aleinu, V'tenu Libeinu Lehamin, Lehavinu Haski Lishmoa, V'Ulemod U'Lilamed Lishmor Ve'Lasot, U'Kayem Et Kol Divrei Talmud Toratecha Ve'Abba Ve'ha Ereneinu V'Toratecha V'Na'abek V'Beinu V'Mitzvotecha V'Heyached V'Aveinu Le'Abba U'Yira Et Shemecha Ve'Lo Israel be'ahava Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meotecha, v'hayu advarim ha'ele, asher Anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'ham, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, u'lechtecha avad derech, v'shokmecha u'kumecha, u'kshartam le'om al yadecha, v'ayulitotafot beit einecha, u'taftam, u'visharecha. Continue on road 167 through 169. תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לבכם אני, אדוני לבכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני לבכם אמת, אדוני לבכם אמת. 170, לדרוך הדור קיים ושמו קיים, וחיצון נכון ומלכותו, ואמרתו ליד קיימת, וברך חיים וקיימים. ושתחו עלינו לאבותינו, מלכינו מלך אבותינו, גואלנו גואל אבותינו, יוצאנו צור ישועתנו, בנינו מצילנו מעולם שמך, אין אלוהים זולתך, עזרת אבותינו, אתה הוא מעולם. Page 173, about to do Michamocha, which we will also read in the Torah itself today. שירו גדולים לשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל ובני קדומך יהודה וישראל גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Private Army Dial 175 through 192. reading the Amidah back on page 175. Adonai sifatayitahu v'yagita ilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Mekonei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Umevi Goel Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagim Baruch Atah Adonai Magin Avraham Ufokei Tzara Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayim Eitim Atara Lehoshia Mashiva Ruach Umori Hagashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Bechayim Eitim Berachamim Rabim Tzomech Nothim Verofech Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishene Afar Micham Bocha Ba'al Kivurot Umido Melach Melech Meimid Umechayeh Umatviach Yeshua Leman Atachayot Meitim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh Ameitim. Rise from the Kedusha, page 179. Nitkadesh Shemcha Ba'olam Keshem Shemakdishim Oto Mishmei Maron Kakatu Ba'yad Neviecha V'kara Ze'el Ze Ve'amar Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tzemaot Melech Haaretz Kevodo Azmet Kol Ra Ashtado Adir V'chazak Mashvi'im Kol Minasim Le'umat Serafim Le'umatam Baruch Yomeru Baruch Kevod Adonai Bimkomo Bimkom Malkeinu Tofia V'tim Lo Chaleinu Ki Bechakim Anachnu Lach Matai Tim Lo B'Tzion V'karov Me'omer Le'olam Va'ed Tishkon Tidgadal v'tidgadash V'toch Yerushalayim Bircha L'dor v'ador U'lenetzach netzachim V'eineinu tihirenna Malchutecha Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 181. You may be seated. Yismach, 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 Moshe b'matnat, 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 chelko, kier b'ne'eman, ne'eman, na'inkarata lo, ay, Yismach, 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 Moshe b'matnat, 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 chelko, kier b'ne'eman, ne'eman, na'inkarata lo. Shana Tata Bamdo Lefnechel Har Sinai U'Shnei Lechol Avanim Horid V'Yado V'Katuv B'Hem Shmirat Shabbat V'Katuv B'Toratecha ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם, ונראה בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 12 לילה שמיים את הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ולא נתתו אדוני לאלוקי ארצות, ולא הנחתו מלכנו לעבדי פסילים, וגם מנוחתו לישכנו ערלים, כי ישראל עמך נתתו באהבה, לזרע יעקב אשר בם בחרת. מקדשי שביעי שבת, כולם ישמעו, ויתענו מטובך שבת, והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמת ימים אותו, קראת זכר מעשה בראשית. אלוהי אבותינו רצה ומנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך, צווינו בטובך ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון, שבת קודשך ינוחו בה ישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת, רצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ובתפילתם ישב את עבודה לעבר ביתך ואישי ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל ברצון ותהי לרצון תמיד, עבודת ישראל עמך ותחזינה עינינו לשובך לציון ברחמים. ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון, בנים אנחנו שתלנו למשינו לעולם. הטוב כי לא חלו רחמך, המרחם כי לא תמו חסדיך, בעולם קיווינו לך. ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד, וחיים ברוך הסלע ולא את שמך באמת, על ישועתנו וישועתנו סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך להנה להודות. אלוהינו ולאבותינו, ברכנו בברכה המשולשת בתורה הכתובה על ידי משה עבדך, האמורה מפירות ובניו, האמורה מפירות ובניו, האמורה מפירות ובניו, עמם קדושך כאמור. יברך אדוני וישמרך, ירנה פניו אליך ויחונך, שנה פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. שים שלום בעולם טובה וברכה, שים שלום טובה וברכה, כן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל עמך, ברכנו אבינו כולנו כאחד באור פניך. שים שלום בעולם טובה וברכה, שים שלום טובה וברכה, כי באור פניך נתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו, תורת חיים ואהבת חסד וצדקה וברכה ורחמים וחיים ושלום. שים שלום בעולם טובה וברכה, שים שלום טובה וברכה, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Kaddish Shalem on page 193. Rabbi Krashme Rabba, Yamad Rachir Tevem Lichmachut Tevachayachon, Kemachachayach Chol Beit Israel, Bagalav Isman Kari Veimeru, Yeshme Rabba Mevorah, Leolam Leol Meomaya Yidbarach. Shabbat, Yibarach Rabbina Sevi, David Alevi Kalash Mede Kudisha, Leila Mikol Bechatav Shira Tak, Shukata Nechamata Damiram Yama Veimeru, Yikabal Soton Voton Luchas Rokon, Amavon Divishmaya Veimeru, Ishlam Rami Shemaya, Chilan Levokoi Shra Veimeru, Ose Shalom Bimrama, Avu Ya'ase Shalom, Alenu Vel Ko Yisrael, Vel Ko Yoshvei Tevel, Veimeru. Yeah, all right, page 195. Why don't maybe Lori and Hilda, you want to stand by the ark in preparation for its opening, and let's get him going a week early. So Daniel Shotland, father of next week's bar mitzvah, why don't you carry the Torah? And Sarah, do you want to help me with the Torah service? Lead the Torah service? Sarah Korn, that'd be awesome. 195. Elohim Adonai v'Elohim Ha'aseh Malchut Malchut Olamim U'Menshatecha V'Vador V'Ador Adonai Melech Adonai Malach Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo.
Halul Adonai, Tivirama Shema Yachad.
Adonai Hagidula, Hagivura, Hatiferet, Mechanetzach, Mechahod, Kihol HaShamayim U'Haaretz, Kihol HaShamayim U'Haaretz, Adonai Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'ishtachavu, le'har kodesh, Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Actually, well, I would say you can be seated, but if you want to take a second to come pass by the Torah, it looks really cool inside today because it's the Song of the Sea. So I know we're not starting with the song. You can open it up, to right there. And anyone wants to come, just come take a look at it. It's really, really interesting. And it looks like the sea parting.
Okay.
So just, once you see it, pass by, and then let the next crew in.
Or if you guys see my phone, for sure they'll yell. Oh, yes.
So I should say waves more than the sea parting. It hasn't parted yet, but it's like waves going back and forth. We're going to be reading that as the seventh Aliyah. First Aliyah, chapter 13, verses 17 through 22, and in the book of Exodus, and you'll find that on, oops, I don't have my, here we go. You'll find it on page 399. God leading the Jews roundabout by the wilderness. It shouldn't take 40 years to get to Israel, but it does because they go this roundabout way so they can coalesce as people. They still have slave mentality. They're not ready to dwell in the land yet. And God accompanies them as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. 13, 17 to 22, we call upon Larry Reback, our Kohen, for the first Aliyah.
Amen. Kol havagod Eloheinu utadu kavod laTorah Kohen Karav Ya'amod Arya ben Yisrael Moshe HaKohen Baruch Shenatan Torah Li'amo Yisrael B'Kedushato V'yotzem HaBegim Adonai Elohechem Ha'im Kulchem Hayom. Hu Adonai Barak. Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher B'Har Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'Natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen. Vayihi b'shalach paro etam konacham Elohim derech eretz Filistin ki karovu ki amar Elohim ken yinachem ha'am v'rotam milchama v'shavu Mitzrayim v'sev Elohim et ha'am me'eretz Mitzrayim derech hamidbar yom suf Chamushim, Ahu B'nai Yisrael, Me'eretz Mitzrayim. Vayikach Moshe Eretz Mot Yosef Imo, Ki Hashpeach Et B'nai Yisrael Me'mor, Pakod Yivkod Elohim Etchen, V'aletem Eretz Motai Mizeh Yivchen. V'yesu Musiko V'yachanu B'eitam B'ktzeh HaMidbar. Adonai Holech, Yifnehem Yomam Ba'amud Anam L'Nochotam Haderech V'Lana Ba'amud Esh V'Hayir Lahem Alechet Yomam Alayla Uyamish Amud Ha'anan Yomam Ba'amud Ha'esh Laila Lifnei Ha'am.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'Hayei Olam V'Tam V'Tahenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen.
Yamod Gabriel ben Shlomo Halevi.
Baruch Hu Adonai HaMavorach.
Baruch Adonai Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher B'Chol Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'Natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayidaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor. Daber El Bnei Yisrael. Vayashu Vayachanu Lifnei Pi Hafirot. Ben Migdal Vein Hayam Lifnei. Ben Migdal Vein Hayam Lifnei Baal Tzifon. Nachu Tachanu. Nichato Tachanu Al Hayam. V'yamar Paro B'nei Yisrael Nevuchim Hem Haaretz Sagar Alehem Hamidbar V'chuzakti Yamev Paro V'radaf Acharehem V'yikadad V'Paro V'chachelo V'yadu Mitzrayim Ki Ani Adonai V'yasu Chen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'Chayei Olam Natan B'Dorkeinu Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen. We're up to chapter 14, verses 5 through 8. Pharaoh changes his mind once again, begins the chase we call upon Aaron and Eva Paul for the third Aliyah. Eva is commemorating the yortzeit of her father.
Yamdu Aaron ben Benjamin V'Chava bat Meir V'Chana Lichvot Shlishi.
ויאמרו מה זאת עשינו כי שלחנו את ישראל מעבדינו יאסור את אפו ואת עמו מקחינו ויקח 600 רכב בחור וכל רכב מצרים ושלושים על כולו יחזק אדוני לפרעה מלך מצרים וירדוף אחרי בני ישראל ובני ישראל יוצאים ליד רמה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Fourth Aliyah, verses 9 through 14. People say, why did you lead us out of Egypt to die here? And it's understandable. They're not like just whining and complaining like they'll do later over nothing. I mean, looks like they're about to die. They have nowhere to go. They're being chased down. For the fourth Aliyah, we call upon Randy and Jan Kessler, grandparents of the, I can't really say baby, of the child who will be named in the Aliyah after that.
Yamdu, Sarabat Shmuel Yaakov, Ephraim ben Leib Umayir, Leopold, for the E.
Amen. Vayirdefu Mitzrayim Aharehem Vayishivotam Onim Al Hayam Sufrehem Paro Uparasha Ba'elo Al Piha Hiro Livnei Ba'al Tzivon Ufaro Ikriv Vayisu B'nei Yisrael Et Einehem V'hinei Mitzrayim Nosei Aharehem Ubeod, Vitzaku b'nei Yisrael, El Adonai, Vayamru, Moshe, Hamibli, Karim b'Mitzrayim, L'chaktanu l'mu bar, Ma'azov, Azitalanu l'hotianu mi'Mitzrayim, Elozeh hadavar, Asher, Dibarnu, Elech, Mitzrayim lemor, Adam Mimenu Vanahata Mitzrayim Kitavanu Avod et Mitzrayim Imutenu Vamidbar Vayomer Moshe El Ha'am El Tira'u Hityatzvu Yira'u et Yeshuat Adonai Asher Ya'aseh Lahem Hayom Ki Asher mitem et Mitzrayim Hayom lo tosifu virat ad l'urtav odolam Adonai yilachem lachem ve'atem te'arishu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet L'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
All right. Fifth Aliyah. And Moses doesn't know what to do, and God kind of chastises him, especially the Midrash. Why are you standing around praying? There's a time to pray, and there's a time to act. This is the time to act. Verses 15 through 20, and we call upon former bar mitzvah of mine, one of the first ones, Drew Kessler and Jessica Kessler, and their third child, Nova, is coming up too.
יעמדו חנן דוד בן אפרים וגלומה ומאירה בת אברהם ושרה לכבוד 50.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה מה תצעק אלי דבר אל בני ישראל וייסעו ואתה הרים את בדך ומטה את ידך על הים יקראהו ויבואו בני ישראל בתוך הים ביבשה ואני הנני מחזק את לב מצרים ויבואו אחריהם וכבדה בפרעה ובחוכלו ברכתו ופרשיו וידעו מצרים וידעו מצרים אני אדוני כי אני אדוני והכבדי בפרעה וברכתו ופרשיו ויישא מלאך האלוהים החולף לפני מחנה ישראל וילך מאחוריהם ויישא עמוד הענן מפניהם ויעמוד מאחוריהם ויבוא בין מחנה מצרים ובין מחנה ישראל ויהי הענן והחושך ויאר את הלילה ולא קרב זה אל זה כל הלילה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטל בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Go on. All right, so why don't you guys all step in front of here so we can get a great look at Nova. Randy and Jan come up too, and I'd like to invite Jessica's parents to come up as well. Just we're all going to stand right here to participate in this celebration. And if Apollo, if you want to come up, you're welcome to. I think you're on the floor building stuff, but you don't have to. But if you want to, come on up. And Ember wanted to be in, Big Sister Ember wanted to be in Tefillat Yeladim, doing service with the kids her age, so that's where she is. Come all the way up here if you can, everybody on both sides here. There we go, perfect. Okay. All right. So, what we have here is, I believe it's a fifth generation, right? Because wasn't your mom's
His grandmother.
right. So your
Dad's
mom's
mother.
mother was also a member here. So this is a 5th generation Temple Beth Abraham, right here in this beautiful Nova, our shining star. All right. So that we know that's her English name. What's her Hebrew name? We're gonna find out. Et hachorim bita anoda lahem b'mazal tov v'kareh shema b'Yisrael na'ama eretz b'chanan David b'me'ira b'avor shlava v'mecha mevarech otan v'norad litzdaka ba'avuran yiratzon she'izku oreha legodla the Torah, Uchupa, Umasim Tovim, Midomar. Amen. May the one bless your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Becca, Rachel, and Leah. Bless our wonderful parents, Jessica and Drew, and their not so newborn daughter, whose name we declare to be Nama Eretz, Bat Hanan David B'Me'ira. May you rear her to be imbued with the love of Torah, and it says Torah Chuppah, that means your wedding, where I know, you're already talking about your wedding, so you're hiding there a little bit. And good deeds. And let us say, Amen. Okay, let me do the priestly bless. Actually, why don't you explain the name before we go ahead and sing to you and do the priestly blessing. So.
Well, Nama meant precious or delight, of which she's full. And then Eretz, she and I went on a trip to Israel when I was 7 months pregnant, and we just had a great time. So I wanted to remember that connection.
That's it.
Yeah. You also may know Nama is, in the Midrash, she is the wife of Noah, or Noach. So, all right. So a little bit of the priestly blessing now. And I have to say, Noah, you may be little, but you act like a big kid in the Gone with the 2 older siblings. I think she thinks she's a big kid, and always has something to say. May God keep you. May God say shine upon you, gracious unto you. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov. You are, and Mazel Tov to the Buford and the Kessler families. It's just such a treat to be able to do yet another life cycle event in your incredible family. And hopefully, you'll all be here on March 26, 2033. That would be the first, the Shabbat after her 13th birthday. It is HaChodesh, right before the spring month of Nisan, Shabbat HaChodesh, and the Torah portion is Shemini. All right, Mazel Tov again. Yay. Now, one of you needs to stay up there, and then the rest of you can go back to your seats. Mazel Tov. 6th Aliyah, verses 21 through 25. Chapter 14, Moses holds his arm out, the sea splits, throwing the Egyptian army into panic and call upon old Davis for the 6th Aliyah.
Yamod, Ayaleh ben finally and Vod, Shishi.
Or who at the Lord, Hamarav.
Or
Adonai Baruch Olam Laed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher harbanu mikol ha'amim v'natolanu et torto, Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Amen. Moshe et yado al hayam, v'yoleh Adonai et hayam. Beruach kadim azah kol halayla, vayisem et hayam v'harava, v'yibakuhu hamayim, v'yavo b'nei Yisrael v'toch hayam v'yavasham, v'hamayim lahem choma, yiminim u'mismolam, yiminam u'mismolam, v'yirdefu Mitzrayim v'yavo, v'yirdefu Mitzrayim v'yavo acharechem, kol sus paro rivko v'rashav, al toch hayam, el toch hayam, v'yahi v'ashmoret haboker, v'yishkev Adonai el machaneh Mitzrayim, v'amod esh v'anan, v'yaham et machaneh Mitzrayim, v'yasar et ofen birchotav, v'yinahakehu b'chveitut, v'yomer Mitzrayim anusam mipnei Yisrael, ki Adonai nilcham lachem b'Mitzrayim.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natalanu teres hamet, v'yayeh olam natavet v'mein, Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
יישר כוח.
All right, the seventh Aliyah, chapter 14, verse 26. What page is that? 405. It's a long one. It goes all the way through 1526. It is the Song of the Sea, and the one that a lot of people look at. And there's a special trope. It's Shabbat Shirah trope, which Joan has learned for this occasion. It kind of sounds like water, too, they say, anyway. And thank you, Joan, for learning it. We've had the fortune of having like 4 B'nai Mitzvah kids know this very long passage over the years, and most years we've gotten away with passing it on. But not anymore.
Exactly.
The last one is senior, and she's away on a school retreat this weekend. So, thank you over the years to Miriam Benjamin and Ruby Sadekman and Lily Kay, and I think maybe Maya Weiss.
And thank you to Susan for teaching me.
Thank you to Susan Simon for teaching Joan this trope. We actually are going to stand for this Aliyah. We stand for the Song of the Sea, so please do so. And we call upon Jeannie and Stu Korn. One other thing about it, it's the first line is the same line that Moses, sang this song or whatever, and then the end of it, where a horse drowned in the sea, and then after the poem part, there's one other line Miriam and the women led in it's the same line. There are some who think that this is actually really Miriam's song attributed to Moses later, and that's why they start the same way. And the scholarly reason for that is it's pretty consistent with ancient war chants, which were done by women for the most part. So anyway, that's where we get that. There we go.
Yamdu Yochevet B'chaim V'Baila Yamdu Yisrael Ben Shimon B'Rochel B'Shendel Bat Daniel B'Shoshana Limbo Tzvi.
Baruch Adonai HaTorah. Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chavanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Toratav. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, נתת ידך על הים, וישובו המים המצרים, על רכבו ועל פרשיו. ויט משה את ידו על הים, וישוב הים, לפנות בוקר לאיתנו, ומצרים נשיא לקראתו. וינער אדוני את מצרים בתוך הים, וישובו המים, ויכסו את הרפת ואת הפרשים לכל חיל פרעה, הבאים אחריהם בים, לא נשאר בהם עד אחד. ובני ישראל הלכו ביבשה בתוך הים, והמים להם חומה מימינם ומשמאלם. ויוש אדוני ביום ההוא את ישראל מיד מצרים, וירא ישראל מצרים מת על שפת הים. וירא ישראל את היד הגדולה אשר עשה אדוני במצרים, ויראו העם את אדוני, ויאמינו באדוני ומשה עבדו. אז ישיר משה לבני ישראל את השירה הסוד לאדוני, ויאמרו לאמור, השיר לאדוני כי קאה סוס ורוכבו רמה בים. עוזי וזמרת יד ויהי לי לישועה, זד לי וענווהו אלוהי אבי ורוממנו. אדוני איש מלחמה, אדוני שמו מרכבות פרעה, וחילו ירה בים, ומבחר שלישה טובעו בים סוף. תהומות יחסיומו, ירדו במצולות כמו אבן. ימינך אדוני נדרי בכוח, ימינך אדוני תירץ אויב. וברוב גאונך תהרוס אחיך, קמך תשלח, וברוב גאונך תהרוס קמך, תשלח ארונך, יאכלנו כקש. וברוח אפיך נערמו מים, ניצבו כמו נוזלים, קפו תהומות בלב ים. אמר אויב, ארדוף אשיג אחלק שלל, תמלאם נפשי, אריך קרבי, תורישנו ידי. נשבת ברוחך כי שמו ים, צללו כל פרק במים אדירים. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורתי לא תוסף אלה. נתיצת ימינך תפלאנו ארץ, נחית וחסדך זכרת, נהלת בעוזך אל נווה קודשך. שמעו עמים ירגזון, חילך אז יושבי פלשת. אז נבהלו אלופי אדום אלי מואב, יוחזימו רעד. נמוגו כל יושבי כנען, תיפול עליהם אימתה ופחד, בגדול זרועך יהיו האבן. עד יעבור עמך אדוני,
Ramzu Kanita Tivi Emo Patika Emo Behar Nachalatecha Machol Shiftecha Ha'alta Adonai Mikdash Adonai Konenu Yadecha Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed Kiva Susba'o B'riflo U'farashav Bayam Vayashav Adonai Aleichem et Nehayam Uvnei Yisrael Halchu vayavasha betoch hayam Vatikach Miriam Hanavi'ah Achot Aharon Et hatov biadah Vatetzena kol hanashim achareha Betupim ubimcholot Vata'an lahem Miriam Shiru l'Adonai Ki ka'o ka'a Susrel Ramavayam Vayasa Moshe et Yisrael mi'am Suf Vayitz'u el midbar Shur Vayelchu Shoshet Yamim Bamidbar Velo Matzu Mayim Vayavo Marata Velo Yachlu Lishtot Mayim Mimara Kimarim Hem Al Ken Karashna Mara Vayinonu Ha'am Al Moshe Lemur Manishta Vayitzahak El Adonai Vayorehu Adonai Et Vayashlech El Hamayim Vayimteku Hamayim Sham Saham Lo Chok Mishpat Vesham Nisam Vayomer Im Shamoa Tishma Lekol Adonai Elohecha V'hayashar Ve'enav Taseh V'ha'azanta L'mitzvotav V'shamarta Kol Chukav Kol Hamachala Asher Sahamti B'Mitzrayim Lo Asim Alecha Ki Ani Adonai Rosecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan v'chotenu Baruch atah Adonai noteinu Torah. Thank you, Joan. Please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yid Kadal v'Yid Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Ramadi Bracher Tav Yamlich Machut. Yamlich Machut. Where is it? Sorry about that. Yamlich Machut Tevi. Yeah. I gotta start over. Yid Kadal v'Yid Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Yamadi Bracher Tav Yamlich Machut. Yamlich Machut Tevi. Kedusha, Leila min Kover Chata V'Shirata, Tushechata V'Nechemata, Damiram Yama, Dimeru, Amen.
All right, we may be seated. We turn to page 421 for the Maftir Aliyah, verse 14, the bottom of that page, to the end of the parsha. It's about Amalek, who we have to remember because as the Israelites were marching, the civilians, women, and children were attacked. And we call upon Avshalom Barrow to read this Haftarah. For the Maftir Aliyah and then the Haftarah.
So where's six? The top of the page. Here we are.
Yamud Avshalom ben Ran Moshe v'Yocheved Li'Vod HaMaftir.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, K'tam zot zichron b'sefer, v'sim be'oznei Yehoshua, ki macho emchem et sefer malei, mitachar hashamayim. Vayiven Moshe mizbeach, vayikra shemo Adonai nisi, vayomer ki yad ha'kezia, milchama Adonai b'amalek midor dor.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Right, for all who read, Mishaberach, Avotinu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarv Krachav Leah, Yivrech Avrim Asher Elohayim, L'chamakom L'chvod HaTorah, L'chvod HaShabbat, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yivrechotam et Mishpachotam, V'yishlat B'Rabatzcha, B'chamas Yedeim Kol Shlecheim V'nomar. Amen. And for those who are ill, we are thinking especially today of Scott Lawrence, Dahlia Van Razel, Barbara Rose, Ilya Oak, Karina Gola, Bahada Yehuda Tzvi, Lehudit Bat Shena, Shavtet Dov Ben Shimon Moshe, Rosie German, Yehiel Ben Elisa, Shulamit Bat Leah, Elisa Bat Rav Raphael Esther, Moshe Ben Ruvain, Patricia Villa Brenta Rose, Rachel Shulamit Bat Yehudi, Rachel Bat Esther Fruma, Mary Beth Shub Brower, Uda Rivka Bat Shmuel Vapola, Yori Yosef Ben Shmuel, Yehoshua Ben Malka Tova, Ariel Chaim, Esther Malka Bat Salah Ben Moshe, Ziva Hasson, Ovadia Ben Sarah, Sarah Bat Malka, Elana Drummond, Shlomo Ben Gittel Ben Moshe, and Chana Bat Chaim. If you have any of their names of those who are ill that you wish to add to our prayers, please say them out loud this time. Yishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Yivarech V'Yiracheh et HaCholim El Narefana Lahem El Narefana in their time of need. We rise now for Chag Ben Galila. We call upon Paul and Ellen.
Yamod Mordecai ben Shlomo Yamod Chai ben Achan Hamad Pieva Hagalelet
Torah Asher Zal Moshe Lifnei Bnei Yisrael Al Pi Adonai V'Yam Moshe Eit Chayim L'Machazikim Ba V'Ton Ke'amen Ushar Eit Chayim L'Machazikim Ba V'Ton Ke'amen Ushar Derachei Adrachei Noam V'chol V'tivotei Shalom Derachei Adrachei Noam V'chol V'tivotei Shalom Yai Lai Lai Yai Lai Lai The Haftarah is found on page 424. It is from the book of Judges. It is the Song of Deborah, this time ascribed to a woman who was, kind of superwoman, Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor, warrior, judge, prophetess, poet, and Avshalom is only going to be doing half of this Haftarah, which still makes it the longest Haftarah in the, I believe, or at least one of the top two, not counting like Yom Kippur. But yeah, it's still a very lengthy one, as Deborah is celebrating a victory, also victory in war, helped by her general Barak, and also by Yael, who, yes, did a very violent act of stabbing the General Sisera with a tent peg. Definitely women of power here, although albeit perhaps disturbing. All right, so once again, it is on page, whatever I said, 424. Oh, you're doing the second half? Okay, so sorry. So thank you for pointing that out. We were 426 and not 424 because when you make the Sephardic cut, you can do it. You do it doing the second half rather than the first half. So so chapter 5, we get the poem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nvi'eh ha'emet v'tzedek. Vatashar Devorah uvarach ben Avinoam bayom hahu lemor v'ivro ha'peraot b'Yisrael v'hitnadevam barachu Adonai shimu melachim ha'azinu rozmim anochi l'Adonai anochi ashira Azamer l'Adonai Elohei Yisrael Adonai b'tzeitecha miseir b'tzadecha misedei Edom Eretz ra'asha kam shamayim natafu kam avim natfu mayim harim nazelu mipnei Adonai zeh Sinai mipnei Adonai Elohei Yisrael Bimei Shamgar ben Anat, Bimei Yael, Charelu orachot, V'holechei netivot, Yilechu orachot hakalkalot, Charelu verazon, V'Yisrael chareru, Ad shakamti Devorah, shakamti em V'Yisrael,
יבחר אלוהים חדשים, אז לכם שערים. מגן אם יראה ברומח, ו40,000 בישראל. ליבי לחוקקי ישראל, המנדבים בעם, ברכו אדוני. רוכבי אתונות סחורות, יושבי עמידים, והולכי על דרך שיחו, מכל מחצצים, בין משאבים, שם יתנו צדקות אדוני, צדקות פרסונו בישראל. אז ירדו לשערים עם אדוני, אורי אורי דבורה, אורי אורי דברי שיר, קום ברק, ושווה שבייך בן אבינועם. אז ירד שריד לאדירים עם, אדוני ירד לי בגיבורים, מיני אפרים. שר שם בעמלק, אחריך בנימין בעממך, מיני מחיר. ירדו מחוקקים, ומזבולון מושכים בשבט סופר. בשרי ביששכר עם דבורה, ביששכר כן ברק, בעמק שולח ברגליו. מפלגות ראובן גדולים לכפרי לב, למה ישבת בין המשפטיים לשמוע שריקות עדרים? מפלגות ראובן גדולים לכפרי לב, גלעד בעבר הירדן שכן, ודן למה יגור אוניות, אשר ישב לחוף ימים, ועל מפרציו ישכון. זבולון עם חרב נפשו, למות ונפתלי על מרומי שדה. באו מלכים נלחמו, אז נלחמו מלכי כנען, בתנ"ך על מי מגידו. בצע כסף לא לקחו, מן שמיים נלחמו, הכוכבים עם צילותם, נלחמו עם סיסרא. נחל קישון גרפם, נחל קדומים, נחל קישון, תדרכי נפשי עוז. אז הלמו יקרי סוס, מדהרות, דהרות אביריו. אורו מרוס, אמר מלאך אדוני, אורו ארור יושביה. כי לא באו לעזרת אדוני, לעזרת אדוני בגיבורים. תבורך מנשים, יעל, אשת חבר הקני, מנשים באוהל תבורך. מים שאל חלב נתנה, בספל אדירים הקריבה חמה. ידה ליתד תשלחנה, בימינה להלמות עמלים. בהלמה סיסרא מחקה ראשו, מחצה בחלפה רקתו. בין רגליה קרא נפל שכב, בין רגליה קרא נפל, ואשר קרא שם נפל שדוד. ועד החלון נשקפה ותייבב, אין סיסרא בעד האשף. מדוע בושש רכבו לבוא, מדוע איחרו פעמי מרכבותיו? חכמות שרותיך תעננה, אף היא תשיב אמריך לה. הלא ימצאו יחלקו שלל, רחם רחמתיים לראש גבר, שלל צבעים לסיסרא, שלל צבעים רקמה, צבע רקמתיים לצווארי שלל. כן, יאבדו חויבך אדוני, ואוהביו כצאת השמש בגבורתו. ותשקוט הארץ 40 שנה. ברוך ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'mdaber u'mkayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'ne'emanim devarecha v'dabarecha midrarecha achor le'ashuv rekam כי המלך נאמן ורחמן אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הנאמן בכל דבריו. רחם על ציון כי בית חיינו, ולעלו בנפש תושיע במהרה בימינו, ברוך אתה אדוני, ושמח ציון בבניך. שמחנו אדוני אלוהינו באליהו הנביא עבדך, ובמלכות בית אבי משיחך. במהרה יבוא ויגל ליבנו, אל תישא לא ישב זר, ולא ינחלו עוד אחרים את כבודו. כי בשם קודשך נשבעת לו, שלא יכבה נרו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן דוד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה, שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ותפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך. יברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Thank you, Avshi. We turn back in our Sidurim now. Do the prayer for the state of Israel. It's on page 224. Do it in both Hebrew and English. And we wish Deborah Reback a safe journey back from Israel. She's headed to the airport tonight. So, Avinu Shebashamayim, Tzor Yisrael V'Golo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Yeshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Again Alea Be'vrat Chasdecha, Ufros Alea Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha V'yamitecha L'Rasheach, Zareha V'yotzea, V'tachne Be'etza Tova Milfanecha, Chazek et Yidei Mipnei Eretz Kodshenu, V'hanchilem Eloheinu Yeshua, V'yater Nitzachon Teatrem, V'natata Shalom Ba'aretz, V'simchat Olam Le'oshbea, V'nomar, Amen. Our Av that is in heaven, Rock of Israel and its Redeemer, bless the state of Israel, the first flowering of our redemption. Shield her with the wings of your loving kindness. Spread over her the shelter of your peace. Send your light and your truth to her heads of state, her ministers and her advisors. Restore them with good counsel before you. Strengthen the hands of those who defend your holy land. Bequeath to them, our God, salvation. Adorn them with a crown of triumph. Grant peace in the land and eternal joy to its inhabitants. And let us say, Amen. We turn to the Ashrei on page 231. I'm not going to make the 1/7 grader who's here lead it by himself, but it's what he's going to do. Mizmor LaDavid. If both Aurora and Amalia were here, I would have made them come up and do a side each, you know. But they're not. So we're just going to do a side each. You're on your own, kind of, for leading. All right, we will start on this side of the room. You're going to do the front part, and you'll do the repeating part. 231. Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, Sheila leDavid, aromim kalamai hamelech, Bechol yom avarchecha, v'alashimcha le'olam va'ed. Dor ledor Shabbat ma'asecha, Hanigrahum Adonai, Erech HaMayim Ugdo Chased. Masecha, Terbo Malchutcha Yom Beru, Yerei Amurota, Ufod Hadar Malchuto. Samech Amai V'Hol Hanochli, פותח את ידיך ומשביע לכל חי רצון. לכל קרב לכל אשר יקרו באמת. שובר לכל עמה ואת כל שעים ישמיד. ואנחנו נברך יה. We rise now for the return of the Sefer Torah to the Ark. Same Ark opener, same Torah carrier. And we invite next week's Bar Mitzvah, Oren Shotland, to lead us in Mizmor LeDavid. Yalu et Shem Adonai, ki niskach shemo levado, Odo aleret v'shamayim, v'yarem keren le'amo, tehila lechol chasidav, libnei Yisrael amkerorom. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Mizmor LeDavid.
Abu Adonai v'ne'elim.
Abu Adonai kavodos. Abu Adonai kavod shemo.
Abu Adonai ve'adrat kodesh.
Kol hamayim. El kavod yirim. Adonai hamayim rabim.
Kol Adonai v'akoah. Kol Adonai ve'adar. Kol Adonai shomer arazim. V'yishamer Adonai et parsei ha'avadon.
Arkidem kmo egel lebanon v'sirion. Kemo ben re'enim.
Kol Adonai chotzeb labogesh. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yechol elayalot.
V'yechesov yarot. U'fechalo kulo merkavot.
Adonai lamahu ya'ach. Yeshem Adonai melech leolam. Adonai oz le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. Uvnecho yomar. Ki lekaptov natati lachem torati al tazovu. Et ma'imni lemachazim ba v'tomchem be'ushar derachem adarchem v'chol tivrochem shalom ashirenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekem. May be seated. So even though we're not quite in Musaf yet, I want to actually just welcome Ben Krefetz here, who will be chanting Musaf today. It's great to have him back. He was a vital part of our congregation until he moved to the other coast, and we just loved having him here. His sense of humor, his davening, and just friendship with so many people. So great to have you back. It's important to just celebrate little things like, you know, seeing longtime friends and cousins, because he's kind of related to Karen, and also big things to celebrate, things like baby namings, especially one that's a 5th generation Temple Beth Abraham person. So I say those things now because as I get through my remarks today, I may end in tears, and in all honesty, and it's going to look odd to say, and now, welcome Ben Prefetz to lead Musaf, because, what a week this has been. Some of you know this all too well, and some of you may not know what I'm talking about. The Parsha this week is Bishalach, and it's the Song of the Sea. And yet this was just a profoundly sad week for me personally. It doesn't compare to the people who went through what I may be describing in a few minutes. But for me, as a person, as a rabbi, as a friend, as a human being, and for it to happen this week, this is Parsha Bishalach. It's a Parsha of joy, it's a Parsha of song, but it's also a Parsha where there's drowning, where Pharaoh survives, but the rest of the Egyptians drown in the sea. And to know that a young person, a beloved person, a wonderful, incredible person that I knew drowned this week in a scuba diving accident, to happen during this week's Parsha was just cruelly ironic. And that's just the sad part that you know about, or some of you know about. Maybe a few know of you more about the other one. Last Shabbat, another vital member of our congregation, wouldn't call her young, but she's not elderly either, in perfect health, really good physical health, very active hiking. Last Shabbat, she was fine. This Shabbat, she's on home hospice for very aggressive metastatic cancer. Talking about, just in case you don't know, I'm talking about Zachary Nelson, who died in a scuba accident, whose brother Avi and sister-in-law Christina are here with us today, and I warn them, and I cannot only imagine the profound sadness that you continue to feel. And for Anne, who may be listening herself and her family, to have this sudden news, it's just unbelievable. And so I want to give you just a little insight for a moment into what it's like being a rabbi. And people often say, gosh, it must be so hard to do all those funerals. Funerals are the hardest part of your job. And I have to tell you that under normal circumstances, that's just not true at all. I know this sounds perverse perhaps, but I love funerals. When someone has lived a good long life, or it's a relief perhaps because they've been suffering, and I get to be a part of laying them to rest and learning about their lives. And usually I know something about their lives, but I always learn so much. They're even more incredible than the person I knew, and I get to see all that. I get to see the love coming together with the family. That is not a difficult part of the job. it's an intense part of the job, it's an emotional part of the job, but it doesn't compare to dealing with all the complaints and the one or two difficult families that you might have in a congregation. Also, in all honesty, with self-reflection, I'm kind of built for for this emotional roller coaster, right? I'm able to sympathize and deal with the pain and the sadness for the most part, but sometimes it turns so sad. It's so profoundly upsetting and disturbing that obviously I'm affected too, and I'm sad all week. And to be around it for so many hours this week was just really awful, as awful as you can imagine, but nowhere near as awful as it is for the Nelson and the Rapson families. This is not about me, but not entirely about me anyway, but first of all, please don't worry about me. I always put my own oxygen mask on first before helping others. And that meant, I took some extra time to, hang out more in the preschool this week than I would have normally, and, enjoying every moment with the Beit Sefer kids, and I'm very excited about Havdalah pajamas tonight. I'm gonna wear my Hanukkah onesie, and I'm gonna laugh with the kids. And I still took care of my body. I went running, which of course I hate, but still, I do it every day. And I talked to lots of friends, and I I watched multiple episodes of How I Met Your Mother, and, you know, in the long term, please, you know, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. And of course, I'm talking about it, which also helps. But you know, I'm still left, you know, with the questions, right? Because this is a time for even those who are deeply connected to God and to Torah. It's a time where your faith is shaken. I mean, why? And there are no answers. There are no words. There's only the hope that what you know about God and Hashem and Torah and the faith can help get you through the pain. And I am able to see always, especially actually with these deaths, I'm able to see God's presence in people coming together. I mean, talk about a family coming together. I'm with the Nelsons. I mean, just unbelievable how much family they have, how together they are, how much support they're offering one another. So are there any lessons, though? Anything to learn? The first is, there are at least two that run through my mind. The first is don't sweat the small stuff, okay? And that's, we all know that to be true, but sometimes it takes much bigger things to remind us. The sadness started last Sunday with the 49ers' awful loss to the Eagles. Two quarterbacks injured, terrible luck. I know it looked like the score was horrible, but really the 49ers played as well as they could under the circumstances. The defense was actually fantastic. And my mom, who I'm sure is watching, likes to say, Mark, it doesn't change your life. And of course, she's right. And it's a small thing, at least in my life. It's not a small thing if you're Brock Purdy and you don't know what's going to happen with your career because your arm's injured. But for the rest of us, right, it's laughable that made me sad. And then this one's kind of funny in retrospect. On the way back from Shiva in Alameda, a lot of potholes on High Street. And I had a tire blowout at like almost 9 o'clock at night on the part of High Street where you don't really want to have a tire blowout at that time. And the tow truck came in less than 15 minutes. I've never heard that. You get this estimate, 60 to 90 minutes. The tow truck pulls up, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, right? And Nemo Towing, by the way, I just got to give them credit. And the guy that, I said, I can't believe you're here. He goes, always. It was really, it was a wonderful thing. And I almost called the Nelson posse to come back and stay with us, with me and Karen, for just in case. Anyway, but it's still small stuff, right? The flat tire gets fixed, the tow truck comes, you'll be okay. That's lesson number one. Lesson number two is simply to enjoy every moment of life while you're here, because you never know. Pirkei Avot, chapter 2, verse 10, Rabbi Eliezer says, repent one day before you die. That's all he says, but one of the commentaries, Bart Nora, says, wait a second, how do you know when that day is? And that's the point, you don't know. So you're supposed to repent every day, and it's the same thing about enjoying life every day, because you never know when that day may come. So you have to keep doing that every day. You have to bless your children every Shabbat. You have to name your babies in synagogue. Think of events so you can get people together, and so you can enjoy every moment of life. And honestly, that's what Zachary Nelson did. I mean, I knew him, but I didn't really know all the incredible things that he did in his life. He really, his lesson in death is the same lesson by which he lived his life. I mean, he enjoyed every second of every day. He just sucked the juice out of life every moment of every day. He was everybody's best friend, including all his siblings, extended family, cousins in Israel. He was an adventurer. He did every experience he possibly could have. He was involved in every Jewish organization you could be involved in, Moishe House and Jemena, Jews indigenous to the Middle East and North Africa. When he was a student at UC Davis, he fought the BDS movement, the boycott, divestment, and sanction movement, almost by himself at times. He wanted to learn everything he could from every person, and his loss is not only for his family, where it's most profound, to the Jewish community where he was so active, it's to humanity. He was working on inventions, patents for things like stroke detection and stents. I mean, new technology and biomedical engineering. I mean, this was just an incredible human being. And all that being the most, innocent-looking, sweetest, most unassuming, joyful, kind human being you can ever imagine. He lived every day like it was his last. And so if you're going to die at 27, you should live like he lived. So I want to conclude with the Midrash that a lot of you know, to the passage of the Song of the Sea. Moses is standing around praying. The people are standing around panicking. Nachshon ben Aminadav, Nachshon, the son of Aminadav, he jumps in. He actually doesn't really jump in. He actually wades in until the water's up to his neck. He's willing to die as he goes into the sea so that others perhaps can live. He's kind of bringing on the miracle, and he must know that, or he wouldn't go in. So he jumped in so that others could benefit. For Anne, who is still with us, and I'm still praying for a miracle, even though I don't think that's realistic. And for Zachary, an incredible human being. They were not shown. They waded into the waters so that we could advance as a community, as a people, as friends, as family. And that lesson is one, not that we need to die by, but that we need to live by. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise, page 239.
Yikada Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divrach Yirteh, Ve'amlich Malchuteh, B'chayachon V'yomechon Chayetcho Bet Yisrael, B'agalav Izman Karim V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'alam Lam Le'almaya, Yibarach, Yishabach, Yipavit, Rami Naseh, Yitadar, Yitadeh, Yitalal, Shmei Kudusha, Brichu, Leila, Mikol Bechata, B'shurata, Jush Bechata, B'nechemata, Damiran, Be'alma, V'imru, Amen.
We begin the Amidah out loud and together.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftachu, V'yagid Tehilatecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Mekoneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיים מתים אתה רב להושיע. Mashif HaRuach Umorid HaGashem Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofech Olim Gevuros, Unido Melach, Melech Memid Umechayeh, Umatliach Yeshua, V'nemanat al hachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. Naritzecha v'nakdishecha, Kesod tzniach tzafei kodesh, Hamakdishim shimcha b'kodesh, Hagavru al yad neviyecha, V'karazel ze le'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech haaretz kevodo, kevodo malei olam, V'shartav shvarim ze lazeh, Hayeh mikom kevodo, Le'umatam baruch yomeru, Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo, mimkomo hu even berachamim, Ve'achonam ha'mechadim shemo, Erev bavoker, V'chol yom tamid, Pamayim be'ahava, Shema omrim, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Hu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, Ve'hu Yashieinu Berachamav, Shenit le'enei kol chai, Shenit le'enei kol chai, Liot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Uvdivrei kodecha katuv lemor, Yiloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Tzion, Ledor vador, Hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid god lecha, Uletzach netzachim kidushacha nakdish, Shivchacha Eloheinu mipin Elohim u'shleolam ba'ed, Ki HaMelech kadosh v'kadosh atah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Continue now on our own, pages 247 through 258.
shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 259, Yikra v'ikra shemei Rabbah, ve'almad yirachute v'yamlich malchute b'chai chonuk yamichon v'chayir kol be'y Yisrael, ba'galav yitman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'alam me'almaya, Yibarach v'yishabach v'par v'yiram v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalav shmei kudsha b'rechu, le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata, shushbechata v'nechamata, damiran ve'alma v'yimru, amen. Tikabal sotohon v'adhon b'chol Yisrael, kodam avohon v'yishmaya v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba mitshmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, Yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru, amen.
Yeah, leg, want to come up? Yeah. Come on up, Nova. Oh, here comes more coming. Aaliyah, you want to come up here? Ein Eloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mich Eloheinu, Mich Kadoneinu, Mich Kemalkeinu, Mich Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adoneinu, Nodel Kemalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adoneinu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Malkeinu, Adonai Moshienu, Adonai Shektiru, Avoteinu, Ein
והאוויר גילולים מן הארץ והאלילים קרון יתקרצון ותקן עולם במלכות שדי וכל לבש ויקראו לשמך להפנות אליך כל רשעי הארץ יכירו וידעו כל יושבי תבל כי לך תקרא כל דרך כי שבת כל לשון לפניך אדוני אלוהינו יכרעו ויפול ולכבוד שמך יקראתנו יקבלו כולם את כל מלכותך הבתים בחברה לעולם ועד כי המלכות שלך היא ולעולמי עד תמלוך בכבוד כך כתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We may be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends whose yortsites we observe during the coming week. It's a pretty long list in and of itself. Max Brick, Aubrey Brody, Pearl Coopersmith, Dora Davis, Rabbi Ralph DeKoven, Jenny Dixon, Barnett Epstein, Lily Mary Fogelson, Donna Goldfein, Fanny Grayklein, Abraham Grutman, Sarah Heber, Selma Jackson, Rose Jacobovich, Joseph Jacobs, Theo Joseph, Celia Caden, Frida Klarman, Shirley Hyman Klesmer, Mary Leon, Max Levine, Harry Levine, Jacob Lobel, William Morovsky, Moshe Nagar, Norbert Neiman, Dorothy Peterson, Beatrice Rear, Zelda Rosenfeld, Phil Rothblatt, Jean Crystal Rubin, David Sadian, Goldie Shapiro, Shoshana Shoshani, Harold Silversweig, Matty Waxman, Ernest Weiner, Harford Jack White, Marion Newman Wolf. We're in the Shloshim for Susie Stein Schreiberg, the former wife of Shel Schreiberg, Rosalane Glick, the mother of Beth Glick, Marion Marks, the mother of Michael Marks, and the aforementioned Zachary Nelson. And our thoughts are most definitely with you, Avi, as well as your siblings, Orrin and Josh and Hannah, and your parents, Tom and Linda. May all their memories be a blessing. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing yortzeit, as well as those who wishes to rise for the mourner's Kaddish on page 267. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divrach Yerutei, Ve'avlich Malchutei, Ve'chayechon V'yomechon, V'chayechon Beit Yisrael, V'agalav V'zman Kariv V'imru, Yehesh Ve'raham Vorach, Ve'olam Me'omaya, Yit Barach, V'yishtabach, V'yitbahar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Kutsha, B'rihu, La'elam, V'yitkol Berchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, V'amiran Ve'oma, V'imru, Yehesh Lama Rama, V'yishemaya, V'chayim, Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Oseh Shalom, V'yimama, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish for be a blessing to you always. Let us say Amen. Call upon President of the congregation, David Goodwin, for announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. First of all, thank you to our greeters, Amber Hyman and Jeanette Mosca. And thank you for leading services to the rabbi, to Sarah, and to Ben. And to our Torah readers, Jerry Levine, Larry Reback, Rick Heger, Joan Corinne with the amazing memory and singing ability, and Audrey Kaufman, and wonderful Haftarah reader, Avshalom Barrow. And of course, many congratulations to Drew and Jessica Kessler for the naming of their daughter Nova, and They have also sponsored today's lunch, which is being cooked by Henny Heck Zilverberg. Thank you also to Josh Mailman for streaming. And tomorrow is the Wetlands Restoration Day, Save the Bay at 10 a.m. The rabbi, I think, will talk about the Freedom Song Beit Tshuva. And next Saturday is Oren's Bar Mitzvah, which I'm really looking forward to. And a week from tomorrow, not as exciting as it might have been, the Men's Club Super Bowl party. And I also want to thank the rabbi for his drash. On a personal level, I am not by any means the oldest person here, but I am in the top quarter, I think. And in my life, I've never had 2 weeks with more people I have known die or fall seriously ill. Including this morning, I heard that my daughter's daughter-in-law's mother in France died in her late 80s, who was born in rural Tunisia in the early 30s and moved to France. One of the last Jewish families to leave Tunisia in the 70s. So thank you, Rabbi, for the drash. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, David, and may the memory be a blessing. Yes, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, Freedom Song by Beit Tshuva. Please come if you can. It's such important work that they're doing. And yeah, so please just come. It's right here in the sanctuary, followed by a discussion. And just in case you haven't heard me multiple times, I've been talking about it. They're a rehab center in Southern California that helps addicts with recovery and using Judaism to do so. So that's why it's called Beit Tshuva, the House of Repentance. Also sign up for the Gala Gourmet in a couple weeks. It will be fabulous and very tasty. A few guests. So Jason, if you want to wave to everybody there, he just moved up here from Ventura to the East Bay. So great, welcome to you. The Bufords from the Southern California area, right? So Jessica's parents, welcome back. Or Middle California. Yeah, near Fresno. It's not Southern California, it's not Northern California. Central California, I guess. And any other guests today? I don't. Oh, yes, Itai. Welcome, Shirley. And does she live in the Bay Area, or first time here, or not? Not a frequent time here. So, welcome, Shirley. Great to have you here. Is that it? I think. Okay. Following it on along, we will have Kiddush and Botzi up here, and then you can go down and eat right away as usual. All right, Ben, come on back up. It's so great to have you.
Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ech Nasa B'chefto Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Le'acharei Kichlot HaKol Behu haya, behu homeh, behu yiyeh, betifara, behu yiyeh, betifara, behu echad, be'en sheni, le'am shilo, le'hachlira, le'lireshi, le'litachlit, Velo haoz v'hamisra, velo haoz v'hamisra, vehu eli v'chai goali, v'tzur chevli v'yetzara, vehu nisi umanosli, menat kosi b'yom ekra. Menat kosi b'yom ekra, le'yado afkiru
Asher Koach, Shabbat Shalom. Please rise for the Kiddush. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat l'asot et Hashabbat le'dorotam be'rivolam. Eini b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat l'asot et Hashabbat le'dorotam be'rivolam. Ki shesh tashuvim asa Adonai Hashemayim v'yet haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat l'asot et Hashabbat le'dorotam be'rivolam. U'bayom hashvi Shabbat ve'nafas Shabbat v'yinafas v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat l'asot et Hashabbat le'dorotam be'rivolam. Kimrat hanim b'shvat be'kat she'yu savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu b'chalam borei b'riah gafei. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu b'chalam b'motzi lechem min haaretz.